everybody, welcome back to another video. I have been busy with my grandchildren. Look how they have grown up, everyone. Aiden is 3 in April and little Isabel is going to be 2 in August. So there's a few things I've been putting off in the house because I've had them for the past 5 days. But first guys, coffee. I've treated myself to a new coffee machine after Christmas because my brother has got one and I just love the lattes that this machine makes. It is fabulous. When I actually got back off holiday, when we were poorly with COVID, I lost my sense of taste and my smell, and I couldn't stand these lattes from the coffee machine, even though I'd loved them when I was away on holiday. But I'm pleased to report that I have my sense of taste back and they are just beautiful. The first thing I need to tackle now the grandkids have gone home is a big mound of ironing. You know, the sort, the pile that is just bigger than Mount Everest. First off though, my iron is really black. Now you can see a load of scratches on my iron rather, and that is where I've been using a metal scourer to get all the marks off instead of my trusted method, paracetamol. So all you do is you plug the iron in, it gets warm, and you use paracetamol and it gets these black marks off really well without scratching the iron. Make sure you only do it to halfway down on the paracetamol and then get a fresh one, because otherwise you will burn your fingers. So we're starting off today's video tackling my huge mound of ironing. I have got absolutely tons. I have probably got a week's worth because I've had the grandkids for 5 days and I didn't do any for a couple of days running up to that. So I have got to get it done. So if you do a lot of ironing, guys, I would really recommend a steam generator. I have had this Tefal steam generator from Chores for about 6-7 years now and I absolutely love it. I would be lost with a normal iron, honestly. But I wouldn't recommend it if you just do a bit of ironing here and there. You know, they are quite pricey, and to be honest with you, I do need to get another one soon, because just like my ironing board was totally KO'd at Christmas, my iron is getting the same way. It is building up a lot of black marks on it quite often now. I have scratched it, cleaning it with a metal scourer. People say to me all the time, Louise, you must love cleaning, you must love ironing. Let me tell you now, I do not love ironing and I do not love cleaning, but I love my family and I want my family to have nice, clean, ironed clothes. Now, I'm not as mad as I used to be on the ironing. I used to iron everything. But do you know what? Sometimes I do pull things out of the dryer and I think, do you know what? That could be hung straight up. So I do like to save myself some time these days. You know, life isn't all about cleaning and ironing. I like to just clean what we need clean. I don't like to see a mess. I don't like to see my family in creased up clothes. So yeah, I'm a bit of old school. I like to do my ironing. I like things to look nice. Actually, you know what? When you get into a routine in life and you do things all the time, it really isn't that bad. It's not as hard as when my kids were a lot younger, for instance, because they're not crawling all over the floor. And I like to do my ironing on a weekend. So once you get into the swing of it, I always plug my Alexa in. I always have music playing when I'm doing my ironing. I think it makes time pass so much quicker. I like to sing away when I'm ironing. I think the worst task for me after ironing is definitely putting it all away. Lucky enough for me today, my daughter Poppy has been sort of putting things away as I've been ironing it, but I'm just putting the last few bits away. The next thing I need to do is I need to tackle some stains on my bedroom floor which my grandkids have made whilst they've been with us, spilt juice and things, you know. So what I've done is I've purchased the Dr. Beckham's. Now I used to use the Dr. Beckham's years ago when all my carpets were cream And my carpets, despite having all those children years ago, were always really lovely and clean. I used to spot clean any stain straight away with the Dr. Beckmans, and I even, well, my husband even years ago spilt a whole bucket of coal over our cream carpets, and this Dr. Beckmans actually got it up like brand new again. So all I'm doing is I am using the Dr. Beckman's carpet cleaner. It has a little brush at the end of it, so what you do is you tip it up, scrub the stain with the brush, and all the while you're scrubbing with the brush, the solution is coming out. And then afterwards I get a little towel and I sort of just blot the wetness out of it and dry it and rub the towel over the wet patch. And honestly, this Dr. Beckman's gets it up like new again. It gets almost any stain out. I mean, like I said, years ago when my husband spilt this bucket of coal one day when I was out, he decided to get a pack of baby wipes of all things to try and clean the coal up. Oh my goodness, so we were just left with wet coal all over the cream carpet. And I used 2 tubs of this Dr. Beckman's and it did get it up like brand new. Apparently it can get wine out, coffee out and all sorts of stuff. It is fabulous. So it's one thing that I've been meaning to do for the past. So the next thing I needed to tackle, now the grandkids have gone home, is to clean a few windows in the house, especially the entranceway at the bottom of the annex. So you've seen how I clean my windows many a times before. I fill up a bowl of warm water, and this is my cleaning bowl, guys. It is not my washing up bowl that I'm using. So I fill it up with warm water, add some vinegar. Now white vinegar is the preference for cleaning with, but if you haven't got any white vinegar in, like quite often I can't get hold of it, I just use normal vinegar. It does the same job, it just smells a bit more. Use a few drops of vinegar in my bowl of water. I use microfiber cloths and I use one to submerge in the solution. I squeeze it out, I wipe it over my window, and then I use a couple of dry microfiber cloths to dry them off. I have used lots of window cleaners in the past in the spray bottles, and I just feel like they leave smears and they never come up as well as doing it by hand, so I do prefer this method. As you can see outside, my hair is blowing about in the wind. It is a really windy day. After I did these few windows you see me do, I did then go on to actually do a load more windows this day, but I thought I wouldn't bore you showing you me cleaning all these windows because it is a bit boring. You get the gist of what I'm doing just by this. I then moved on to my next job. Right, so the last thing I wanted to tackle in my house today, guys, was my cooker. Now I've told you in the past, every single week without fail, usually I will deep clean my oven. So what that means is I pull the silver racks out of my oven and I'll scrub all the glass and the bottom of the oven and the sides of the oven. However, every single time the trays are used in my oven, the trays are what we put the food on, they are cleaned every single time that my oven is used. So that is a couple of times a day. I will scrub up the trays with a metal scourer. Now not everybody does that and people might think that's a bit weird. However, this is how I look at it. If you use a plate and you eat your food off a plate, you will not then reuse that dirty plate to put the next day's food on, should we say. So this is how I look at it. I don't want to put food on my oven trays that have in-ground dirt on it, because that's what causes stomach upsets and God knows what, because it's old food and it should be cleaned straight away. However, sometimes life gets in the way, so I've not done my deep clean on my oven for the past couple of weeks. Things have happened unexpectedly and I've had the grandkids and other stuff, so I've not actually done it. And although I could have opened my oven and it would have looked clean, sometimes things aren't as clean as they look, as you saw from the dirty water. So all I've done is I've used the Cif cream cleaner. My oven will never be that bad where I would need chemicals, because I would never let it get that bad. And I've just sort of used a metal scourer to scrub everything up. It really didn't take that long, probably about 10 minutes, I'll be honest with you. Some cookers that I go to, it can take hours of scrubbing and loads of chemicals, because for some reason people don't like to keep on top of things. They see things as, you know, a big job, when in actual fact it isn't. And there you go, that's the inside of the oven really clean. So now we're going to tackle the actual metal racks. Now these have got really quite bad, and I like to see my metal racks looking nice and silver and new. You know, when people leave these things to build up and then you turn your oven on, which heats your oven up, you can only imagine whatever food could be sat in your oven could be then dripping on your food. So I do take things like this really, really seriously. It's not just about things looking nice to me, it's about health and safety, isn't it? It's about making sure that your food doesn't become contaminated with loads of old sort of food. It just would not be very nice to have old stuff dripping all over your food while it's cooking. So all I'm doing again is I'm just using washing up liquid for this part of the job. These are not horrific, but they have got dirt on them because I've not done it for a few weeks. I'm using a metal scourer and I'm just putting a bit of elbow grease into it, you know. Takes a bit of scrubbing, I would say. Probably took me about 10 minutes. So again, although to me it looks dirty, it's not too bad. So I've stressed so many times how important it is to keep on top of things. Like I say, I can go to some customer's house and do an oven clean and it could take, you know, 2.5, 3 hours. I have seen some really, really bad ovens, you know, to the point where they've probably been left for a good year or two, I don't know. But what takes me 10 minutes after a couple of weeks, I can only imagine that people have left them for a really, really, really long time. And then it takes a lot more effort. If people just wiped out the cooker every time they use it, or deep cleaned it once a week even, you know, you'd be surprised how little effort it actually does take. I was really, really pleased that I'd managed to do these jobs I've been putting off. I'd obviously done all my basic cleaning as well, but there were these few jobs that I really wanted to tackle, and I was really pleased when I'd done it. Made me feel really good at the end of the day, because when you know you've got things you want to do, it's ticks away at the back of your mind and it really stresses you out. Okay guys, we are coming to the end of the video now. Thank you ever so much for watching, and if you've got some jobs you've been putting off, get them done. You will feel so much better at the end of it. You feel like you've really achieved something and the feeling is absolutely great. Okay, I'm going to head off guys. I shall see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye. Okay, I'm going to head off guys. I shall see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.